Welcome to my June garden tour. Lots of changes since May, lots of new growth. So stick around, have a look at the plants and enjoy. So starting the tour in one of my seated areas, just so you can see the view that I get just sat here. Excuse the lawn. There's a concrete shed base under there. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that bit, but we'll figure it out. So yes, so there is our Trachycarpus fortunei crossed with Princeps. It's pushing out another 2 leaves at the moment. Some yuccas, I think that's Aliofolia. That is Philostachys sulcata aureocolis, and some Pseudosassa japonica, just growing on in pots, just has a little bit of interest. There's the big roof there. I'm going to have to divide that next year because it's spread out as wide, it's not so tall. This is a newer planting area from last time. So some Bohemeria in there, some Pilea, Taiwan Silver, Pilea insolens, Begonia, some Grandis bells and whistles, and a Zimber white feather, I think that is. As we move around, you can see here we've got the Pulmonaria, another slug trap in there, trying to stop that devouring of my plants. That's Gosonius baccata. Hopefully that should grow up into these amazing kind of snowflake leaves, but we shall see. I've got an amazing specimen in the greenhouse, but yeah, that is your Euphorbia John Phillips. Nice large shrub that one is. And there's a rooster finner giving a bit of shade to the garden. Trachycarpus fortunei and Camarops humilis. Here is the statement piece of the garden. On this side, that is a standard Trachycarpus, Tetrapanax papyrifera. Huge leaves. This one's a metre wide. I'm sad enough to measure them. Cleared out one of the leaves out the back there, so opened it up a little bit here. So inside we have Fatsia spider's web surrounded by ferns. There's a Begonia Nijang silver in there. Another begonia, this one's coming into flower. If you remember, that was tiny last tour. Begonia torsa, another 2 leaves coming up through that. That's going to be a good specimen in there. Polonia, a little bit slow this year, but it's starting to go up now, which is good. Santadecia always looks good. So that's that Fatsia we talked about last time that always gets burnt off. Just plenty of watering. It's going to get moved at some point. And the Regersia is coming up lovely. And then this Persicaria has gone mental. I don't know whether it's Orientalis or Superba. I won't know till the flowers come out. So we shall see. Another begonia there. The Aurelia elata has put on lots of growth in the last month. So a good 6 inches of height. Rheum palmatum, clumsy gardener. I should change my name really to the clumsy gardener because I've stood on that, broke the crown, snapped some leaves off. So there's only one decent leaf sticking up at the moment, but it is dramatic. The Grunera is growing. It's wide now, so it's pushing out leaves out the side now. It's not massive height, but I'm sure that will come over time. And a little bit of a riciness there. Solanum lacinatum and the Musa laziocarpa. And then underneath you can see there's some pink chinas there. There's a Regersia Hercules growing in there. Canna Russian red. I do like this canna. It has a very dramatic foliage on it. It's always a nice plant to look at. And then we have an Abutilon. I think this Cycad revoluta is actually going to start flushing. It's a real spiky centre there, so we shall see. Let's, fingers crossed, we should get that. Okay, let's talk Philostachys nigra. So as you can see, it's bent right over now. the whole thing is just absolutely covered in flower, but it's still going, it's still kicking out stuff, which is bizarre. And then when you look down, new culms coming up, so we shall see. As far as I was aware, that it uses so much energy creating the flowers that the plant eventually dies, but it seems to have enough energy to push up culms, so let's see. I know that I've had some advice to cut all of the culms down which are affected, but that's all of them. And a little formium here, yellow wave, growing lovely. An andina around the Trachycarpus wagnerianus, which is again another beautiful palm. It's my favourite palm in the garden, this one. Sable bermudana, still trying to push out that leaf. It requires some heat, this plant. And then as we walk around, I've got another couple of more yuccas. So there's another yucca gloriosa in a pot down there, just growing on. I'm looking forward to seeing what that in there does. That is a Pittosporum daphneoides. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops, because it's got some lovely lush green leaves. There is a Camelops volcano. Persicaria is growing well. All coming lovely. That's a candy tuft. I've forgotten the name of it, but it's a really good ground cover. It just spreads. You get these, looks like candy floss basically, of flowers, but they don't last that long in spring. A rogue plant pot, Persicaria virginiana. So this area's come under some change. So in there you see there's the Textlanix rex, just starting to push out some leaves now. Been really slow this year. There's a Melianthus major tucked in the back there. That's going to have to get moved for next season. And as we look over the Yucca gloriosa, at the back there, there is a Salvia amistad, which is just starting to put on some flowers. And the Canamusa folia is also starting to come through as well. So that should put up some real height in this area. There was a Solanum quittuent in here, but it was just getting crowded out, so it got moved. Miscanthus giganteus is starting to go now, 6 foot so far. At the back there, that is the Aureocolis bamboo that we showed last time, putting up a big culm, and that's enormous now. I don't know whether it's going to pick it up, but the culm goes right up there behind the bananas. This colocasia has done so well. It's just enormous leaves already. So that leaf is 45 centimeters long already. The Ensete, I didn't show this in the last video very well, but I had to decapitate it in the spring because it just wasn't pushing through, and it's starting to sort itself out now. So if you look on my Instagram, to be honest, that's where I do most of my stuff, is Instagram. There's some great photos of that. Just starting to rain now, which I don't mind because it's flipping warm today. Yeah, so the bananas are doing really well, as always. They just grow. And this is the Berinda papyrifera CS1046, and it's pushing out some culms. So it was a division that we cut off a plant back in April, and it seems to have settled in really well because it's got the energy to stick out some new culms, albeit a bit thinner than the original ones, but it's nice to see it surviving. Lots of colocasia pink chinas under there. These are interesting, these Phytolaccaboons. Phytolacca laccaboon. So they look a bit like a dock leaf to me, but they're a good filler plant. It's the flower spikes and the purple berries that I'm going to be interested to see how this develops over time. But yeah, I wasn't really sure on the size that these were going to grow, so you'll see some in a minute which are completely in the wrong place, but we shall see. Big Brugmansia. I'm hoping it's going to flower, so any Brugmansia experts out there, how do I get this thing to flower? Because it's split into branches, but I just don't see any flower buds coming up yet. It looks healthy enough and it gets fed regularly. Canna Russian Red coming through with some riciness in the background as well. Some new little bit of fence out there, that'll get completely hidden soon, but it just has a little bit of interest for now. Starting to widen, so this Trachycarpus is starting to push it. It's obviously pushing out leaves and starting to spread rather than just stick up, which is what we want from palm trees. Strobilanthes looks glorious as always, such a stunning plant, just nice. Glorious leaves, beautiful coloration on them, purple undersides. It is a magnet for caterpillars and slugs, but it's not too bad. And I was a bit late for my slug defences this year, so I didn't put anything out really until a couple of weeks ago. And I put some beer traps out just to see if we can limit the amount of damage, because as we've had a little bit of rain, the slugs come out a little bit more. So there's the Scheffler alpina, a new purchase, a new one in the garden, all hardened off and stays outside now while the weather's good, which is an Alocasia regal shield. And up behind that is a Scheffler taiwaniana. It's getting a bit crispy on the leaves, so I don't know if that's underwatering or if it's just sunburn. So as we said, remember down in this gap in here, we said that there's going to be loads of colocasias coming through. And there they all are. There's a forest of them in there. Colocasia pink china, all pushing through. It's going to be a very nice, densely packed area. And that was the whole idea about this section, was it was going to be densely packed. I wanted it to be just a mixture of foliage and leaf types and shapes and textures. And I think that's what I achieved. There's not many flowers in this section. I didn't want many flowers in this section. There is a larger flowering section we'll see in a bit. So as we come round, Camarops humilis. This is a bizarre plant. It's Miner's Merlot. So I cut all the flowers off, and then it just decided to send up a whole load of different smaller spikes and just reflowered itself. So hey ho, who knows? Brunner that's getting chewed up. That's the Formium, the burgundy one. I don't know again what variety it is, but as you can see, it's pushing out a whole new load of different sections. I don't know what you call them actually. Divisions, parts, limbs. Not sure. A Waggy, and some Brunner, and another Miner's Merlot in there. As you can see, behind that is the Fighter Lacquer Boom. Persicaria virginiana looking lovely, and there we have the Salvia Cuban, not the Cuban Red, Summer Jewel. It's so vivid, the red on it. And what will happen is you see all these little buds here. These will all eventually be flower spikes as well, so it's just going to be everywhere, which is what I want. Solanum, not Solanum, that is a voodoo lily, so Saramartum venosum. I had loads of little bulblets and I've just spread them everywhere. Grown some of them in the greenhouse and just put some out, and they're all seem to shot up, so not flowered this year, but if they do flower next year, it's going to be a stinky garden. Solanum lacinatum, lovely little purple flowers on that, and the leaves on it are so exotic. Look at that, stunning. Grown from seed, so easy. You just pop the seed in and they pop up. Estuaria Flamingo Glow, not really in the right place, needs a bit more sun. It's going to get shaded out eventually, so that'll get moved. But that's the fun of gardening, isn't it? Finding out what works and what doesn't. Colocasia esculenta poking through the bamboo. And this is your Aloe striatula, or I think Aloe Olempos, or something like that. I don't know why they keep changing the names. Some more daylilies. The trouble with the daylilies for me is there's only one variety which flowered this year, because I got a load of bare root ones, but there's been no flower spadex coming up at all. Crocosmia, looking forward to that flowering later in the year. This is a Canna Cleopatra. Cannas are a little bit slow this year as well. I don't know why that is. Now, I'm a regular waterer. I water at least every other day for these plants because they're just thirsty. So you would have thought, I think it's just because of the spring temperatures. The nighttime temperatures were a bit cool and it caused all kinds of issues. This Persicaria has gone ballistic this year. This is Virginiana. It's just a really nice thing. I'm going to take some cuttings of this and spread it around a bit more. Altamira Indian Summer, just coming into bloom. As you can see, I put 3 plug plants in here. So if you look back to the last video we did, there was 3 plug plants and they're really spaced out and it's just filled up. There's the Phytolacca boom. So yeah, so you can see the little flower spikes coming up, starting to develop there. I'm just going to be really interested to see how it develops. But for me, it just overpowers this space. So I don't think I'll plant them there next year, but they'll do for now. Picked up another heuchera. I think this is Midnight Rose, but I just love the variation on it. Just the pink flecks, just brings something different. Bit of a Ipomea filler plant there. There's some more of those Sarah Martins. They just seem to pop up everywhere now. The Liriope Muscari's coming into flower. Geranium palmatum, fantastic foliage on that. The flowers always get a bit leggy. So the Madarents version is obviously a big dome of pink flowers. This is quite leggy stemmed. And then our Dahlia Single Happy Flame is starting to flower. And this is a stunning little flower, really. As over time, the centre spreads out more yellow. So as the year develops on and as the plant gets bigger and it produces more buds and there's more sunlight, there's more yellow in the flowers. So there's a new flush coming on the, this is, it's escaped me now. It's a Macropodum Daphne-phyllum, that's the one. So in spring, all of the branches just come in this lovely little lime green. You can see it pushing through more leaves there. It's a real healthy grow, this one. This little Rostrata down here, I bought this as a 7cm plant. So I always like to buy small, grow large. And it seems to be doing really well. Lost quite a few leaves, they snapped off or died off, but the centre now looks pretty healthy. Yucca filamentosa, just growing that one, and here comes the rain. So as we move around a bit now, that's the plant we showed you last time. So you can see the oxalis is really spread out. The canna's coming through now. The Tradescantia is really trailing, vivid purple, and the Fuchsia procumbens just adds that little bit of extra delicate touch. Very nice. And my lovely Butea, which is a really delicate palm, looks very nice, very feathery. It's now got 2 flower leaf spikes coming up on it. So I'm looking to see those open. This one's starting to open at the front there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Hostas. Yeah, hostas are, I can take them or leave them really, but they just need to fill some space. I picked this monstrous thing up from Facebook Marketplace. So it's just settling in a pot for now until it establishes itself. I don't really have room in the ground anyway at the moment. Cyphomandria bettacea, or the Tamarillo or tree tomato, if you remember, it was over behind the waggy just over there. But these are slug magnets, and the top got chewed off and the base started to get chewed, so I've potted him up just so I've got one remaining good one. And that's the Solana quituense that I had to remove because it just didn't have the space. So we trim the leaves a bit just while it establishes its roots again in the pot. You can see the flower spike starting to develop, flower buds starting to develop, and new leaves pushing up. And then we have a lavender with a bumblebee on, great pollinators. This is the pot of ginger, Hedican gardneranium, which was put in behind the Patria polycarpa over on this side. Getting crowded out, so we put him here, and as you can see, just masses of stems coming up. This is a little bit of a shady corner. I don't think I've shown this on video before. So some food plants that are out of space for at the moment, and a few things I've got to protect a bit more. So you've got your Livistona chinensis, Begonia luxurians, another Taiwaniana, another Scheffler alpina, and just various little things dotted around. That's entrance to the greenhouse, and I'm not going to do a tour of the greenhouse, but that's what's in there today. Lots of little things growing on. They may get planted out, or may not. We shall see. And that is tropical gloss on June the 21st, the longest day of the year. Thanks for watching.